Ah, it's finally happened. It is gone. The Elka is gone forever. It is gone. It is gone forever. No, I'm kidding. So the Elka finally is upstairs. There somewhere. We're gonna take a look at it in a second. So what was I talking about? Right. There's still a little bit of garbage left from the Elka. Specifically, the Elka welcome mat. These PCBs over here. Now, I did use a few parts for the bass synth, and yeah, what's this? It's an eyeball. Why is this here? That's actually from my old mask. Okay, interesting. So that's where that went. Somehow it went in here. How? Like I was working on my mask here and somehow that made it all the way in a box that was under the Elka. Okay, anyways. So yeah, I still have a few bits and bobs that remain from the Elka. Because, you know, I rewired a lot. And obviously I removed the Elka welcome mat, the drums and accompaniment section. Because, yeah, these switches are all broken. Every single one of them doesn't work properly anymore. And also the PCB snapped in half, which is pretty easy to fix, but yeah. So, the Elka welcome mat, I plan to have it controlled by a Arduino. So, it could have like the original rhythms and melodies and also custom ones. But fitting all that in the Elka, not just a great idea. So, what I'm going to do, I'm gonna eventually someday, this century maybe, I'm gonna put this welcome mat into its own custom enclosure with a custom front panel and interface, which replaces all these broken things. Yeet. If you noticed, I tidied up my workplace a little bit. There's no more far boxes up there. All the tools all have their own dedicated spaces now. It's pretty great actually. I mean, I'm only halfway there. I cleaned up all the extra trash. Like, I pretty much sorted everything into boxes and just, you know, just made it nice. Still a mess, really. Yeah. What I want to do is add some more planks to this. So every single one of these boxes has its own plank. So it's not, you know, like this is not good. So yeah, the workplace is a lot better. It's a lot tidier, and I can actually find things now, even though it's still like a modicum of trash heap. You know, it's actually a lot better now. And as you can see, yes, the Antonelli is in pieces because this is gonna be probably the next project. Yeah, it's gonna be the next project because it's here now, so I might as well. I pulled off the front panel. I'm going to cut this board in half, or maybe just desolder the. But I need these spring switches and these bus bars for this keyboard, because yeah, I used the octave dividers and the top octave generator as parts for the Elka. So I know I said before I really wanted a table hooter, and I'm glad I had one for a little while. But the Elka it's way better. Now, it turns out that the Elka can also hoot. I basically just removed the filters that were in here, put them in the Elka, and the Elka, well, it doesn't work, but the Elka works, but not the filters. It doesn't output any sounds. So, but yeah, the idea is eventually that will work, and then I'll have the exact same sounds, because it's all just square waves. Like, this is just square waves, square waves, square waves. Two square waves get 2 octaves of square waves get mixed together for each key, and you have beep, 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 you know. So the Elka does the same thing, except it has drawbars and, you know, like 8 octaves of square waves that you can mix together with those drawbars. So it is a lot more advanced, but it's the same thing. Like, it's just this, but more, and with Leslie and reverb and everything. So yeah, the Elka can make the same sounds as this thing, now that it has the filters of this thing. So this thing can be turned into something else, and I want to use this thing for my noise, doom, grindcore, whatever experimental project, The Scientist. Because I made 2 masks, one for, basically one for in the studio, one for live. Picture in screen now. Yeah, so yeah, that's so that's what I look like on stage, and I'm gonna look like in the studio with some recordings for The Scientist. So all creepy horror stuff, great, you know. I want to use this for The Scientist. I want to basically make this a bass, 1 octave. The other 2.5 octaves will be like noise, probably FM stuff. Don't know yet. Maybe I'll make it completely analog. Because there's a lot of space in this, so it's gonna be cool either way. I want to make this thing all horror, like give it a paint job and effects, and maybe put this eyeball here or something. It would be kind of cool as an on-off light, actually, because it actually has a light in here that lights up like a red light. That's actually not a bad idea. I'm just gonna, yeah. Obviously it's different from panel. This is gonna be cut like this. It's gonna be have a big old front panel with all sorts of switches and stuff. Probably gonna have a drum machine in there, the old Drumic over there. That's still working and still good shape, but yeah, I don't know, maybe something like that. So cool plans for that. Oh, by the way, have you noticed I'm actually filming with my camera? It is, so the chargers work again, this thing. Yeah, that's... so I know I said it like 5 times that I would buy a new charger for this camera. I didn't, because I'm a lazy ass, and I just couldn't be bothered. Instead, after like moaning about my camera charger for like 2 months, 3 months, I just grabbed this old one, which is now already falling apart again. Duct tape. This thing, it did smoke, which is obviously not good. So I thought, okay, you know, it's dead. I could try and open it up. I tried opening it up. It wouldn't open up. It wouldn't open up, like at all. Like it was proper stuck together. Instead, I just went to the effort of opening it up with this. It's probably more effort. But it turns out it was actually worth it. I don't like throwing things away. I really don't like it. Like, we already throw away too much. There's too much garbage in the world. It turns out this thing, it was really simple. Like, seriously, it was... I don't know. Now, the trace of one of the 220 volts connections actually goes past that screw, and it's like really thin. But there's also was like this hingey connector here, and somehow that has like rubbed up against the PCB over here, and it has basically like cut away at the trace until the trace was so thin it started having resistance and, you know, power through resistance, heat. So that started heating up, started melting the plastic, and yeah, that's basically where the smoke came from. And then the trace went kaput. Everything it did looked like a component just committed Sudoku. Instead it was just, yeah, the trace. So I fixed the trace, and then I just really carefully like put it all the way here, and I say plugged it in. I was like, oh, don't explode. It didn't explode. It worked. It charged my battery and it's working now. Why are you like this? Anyways, let's go upstairs, because I think this video was about the studio. Yeah, probably. I don't know. I just pressed recording on my camera and okay, let's go. Oh. Oh. I almost fell. Oh, yeah. Oh, there she is, mate. Ah. Yay. Let's close the door. I said close the door. Why are you stuck? Okay, so the door suddenly doesn't want to close anymore. So for some reason this piece of wood is in the way now. What? Okay, so the house is collapsing. Look at this though. Yeah, that's the money shot. So got the Yamaha HS6 FM Monster, absolute monstrosity. 2 keyboards, both velocity sensitive with aftertouch. You got 5, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5 whole FM synthesizers, 4 operators. I believe it is 8 algorithms. Also 8 waveforms, so not just sine wave FM, but also like weird sawtooths and weird double sine things, whatever. Seriously cool sounds, like... Yeah, it's great for noise too. So that's why I used it for the scientist. That was actually a great tune. I don't know where that came from, but I'm glad I filmed it. There's a legendary effects unit in this that has like a really infamous ensemble effect, like this stuff over here. Great chorus, great Leslie, honestly, even though it's like an digital emulation, it still sounds really cool. Spring reverb, which is really cool. Flanger, delay, and you can program the absolute bejesus out of this. Not only can you program all the voices from the front panel, but you can control everything from MIDI, like every single parameter of the FM synths you can change. Just connect it through to a laptop via MIDI, load up some software, and you can make some really gnarly sounds. DX7, eat your heart out, mate. This thing is infinitely better. Like, everything the DX7 can do, this can do better, I swear. Fight me in the comments section, I swear. Of course, next to it, now, since yesterday, there is the Elka. I haven't actually plugged it in yet, but I mean, you know what it does. I mean, I've made videos about it the past year and a half. That's how long it's been sitting in the office. Yesterday I was just like, everything works. There's just one octave divider that's little bit hokey that I need to replace. I don't actually need to solder anything for that. There's like 2 mods that I didn't bother doing. I mean, it's been sitting in the office for well over a year. Like, enough is enough. It sounds great. It works great. The mods are great. The stock sounds are all fantastic. Like, this thing purrs. I love it, and I just want to use it in the studio now. So that's why it's in the studio. Videos about it coming soon, because yeah, I'm gonna record some music with this. It's gonna sound amazing. Speaking of amazing, not you. We'll get to you in a bit. Shit. This thing. Okay, so pretty much a failed product from the 80s this is. It's a Keytech. Keytech was basically Shell's last death gurgle. Like, they tried, yeah, Shell got bought up by Gibson when they went bankrupt. Not Gibson, Shell did. And they made the Keytech series. They made this electric piano. They also made a synthesizer. The CTS 2000. This is the CTS 5000. The CTS 2000, pretty much a flop. It was a really cool synthesizer, but nobody really cared about it. Same for this thing. It sold a little bit better because, and we'll get to that, we'll get to these. It sold a little bit better, but still pretty obscure, and they're pretty much worth nothing now. So I have 2 of these. Because it's awesome! I love this thing. Seriously though, the piano sounds are range from okay-ish to pretty good. The electric piano sounds are pretty cool. The normal acoustic piano sounds are pretty good, okay. It sounds like a piano. I mean, that's all you need from electric piano, right? The keypad on this thing, you never played heaven like this. This is actually like touching the face of God. Oh. Probably one of the best keypads I played. It is weighted, not hammer action. There's not actual hammers in there. It's basically just normal keys, but with a little metal weight in the end of them. Like, this thing made me play like 10 times better than normal. I swear. Like, it is lightweight, but not too light, and it makes you play smoother because of it. Because it takes that little bit more effort, you know? But it's not too heavy that it'll actually strain your fingers, you know? So you can play on this thing for a long time, like an hour, and especially with my mouse arm. What I want to do at some point is like buy a good modern piano module that I can control through MIDI. I'll just place it here or somewhere and just use the MIDI out from this thing to control the piano module. Then I'll have great grand piano sounds and stuff, and also a great keyboard. So best of both worlds. Korg Poly 800, right? Well, it's you know, not quite original anymore. So this Poly 800 came to me in a very corroded state. It was basically just garbage. That's why it was super cheap. I think I paid like 20 bucks for it. But what I basically did, I salvaged whatever components I could. Luckily I could salvage the filter chip, and the chorus board was perfectly fine too. So I built my own custom motherboard with modern parts, with the original filter and the original chorus, and it sounds really close to the original, but I added a whole bunch of waveforms. Normally you can just, you know, activate 4 octaves of square waves. I added sine waves, triangle, sawtooth, some other like sampled waves, like organ sounds and even noise, I believe. So it's pretty cool. I changed the sequencer a little bit, that's why this crap is on here. It's cool. It is cool, but that's the oscillator's chip. It was broken, it was corroded, and it didn't work anymore. So I had to emulate it, and of course I added some extra features to it. So it is like digital. It does mean that the higher notes suffer from aliasing, because I only used an 8-bit resistor ladder DAC, which, you know, isn't great. So that's why it's rather limited in terms of sound. Low notes sound really cool. High notes, not so great. But I never use it. And I haven't touched this thing in ages. The only sound that I use on it is the resonant sweep. It goes like or something. I have this now. I have this thing now. Like this thing has 2 Moog leather filters. Like this thing is gonna outsweep the Poly 800 any day of the week. And it sounds creamy while doing it too. Oh, so this thing, it's gotta leave. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it. If I'm gonna sell it, if like anyone wants a DIY muck together Poly 800, I don't know. Maybe I'll reuse the parts, although that will be kind of a waste with all the hours and effort I put into this thing. Because it is really cool. So, yeah, maybe if someone wants to buy it, you know, make me an offer. Like maybe you can expand upon this project. Because I probably won't touch this anymore, and that's a bit of waste. Okay, so this mess in the corner is a laptop, and of course Behringer audio interface with a custom built power supply, because the power supply on this thing did the classic pooperino. So it happens a lot with these FCA interfaces. Behringer just kind of flunked on the power supply design, and other than that, it is a great sound card. Like, this thing is fantastic. Love it. It has inserts for all the channels on the back, which is something almost no sound card has. That's so hard to find. You need to like buy a mixer or like a separate thing. It's super expensive, and it's like buying separate preamps is just super expensive, like crazy expensive. Like I can't afford that. So, but this thing has it all, like inserts, preamps, effects loop, everything, routing, digital, analog connections, everything's on where, Firewire, USB. It is, and it sounds great too. And for the money that you pay for this, for one of these, it is absolutely ridiculous. So good on you, Behringer. -1 point for the power supply, but the rest fantastic. I also got the expansion. This is the older model expansion. So this is the ADA expansion slot. I can actually turn it on. Ta-da! You have all the pretty lights. For no reason at all. You're gonna have to stare at this blinky forever. So, yeah, these preamps are cool, I guess. I'm using it for the electric drum kits at the moment, which I want to remove. It's not the drum kit, but these cables I want to get rid of, because I want to do something else with those. Also got the 266XL compressor gate by good old DBX. Really good classic, great compressor that I only use for vocals at the moment, actually, and bass. And of course a power supply to smooth all the noise from the power lines and to regulate everything. I did customize it somewhat because this thing was actually really shitty and didn't have proper protection at all. So it is a little bit customized. I removed the lights and stuff, and yeah, just the extra guff. But other than that, perfect. And now we enter the noise room. So this is where the drums are. So electric drum kit, completely custom built, obviously out of existing drum parts, but still. I actually used bed sheets for these heads, which works really well. It's kind of silly, but like it actually plays like really decently. I kind of need to tune it up now, but I will actually put actual mesh heads on here, on these two. Because yeah, like the bed sheets works really well, but the rebound is still a little bit meh, you know. So I do need to tune it up constantly, which is it's good for practice though, I will say. But yeah, currently like there's like cables everywhere that just go off to the sound card. It's a kind of a mess. I want to make a drum module that I'll probably place over here in the middle. Make a custom drum module for the electric drum so I can just practice whenever. Don't need a sound card or a laptop with a VST plugin, because that's basically what I do now. The audio from the triggers goes to the sound card, then I use a trigger to MIDI plugin to convert those audio signals to MIDI, which then drives a VST plugin. It works well, I will say, it works well, but it's... I mean, if I just want to play for a little bit, I just want to turn on a drum module and just play, you know? Done. Plus, I also want to free up the, you know, the processor of the laptop for doing other things while recording. So, yeah. There's also the ISO cab here, which now has the Yamaha flag over it. You can't actually see it, but there we go. So, ISO cab. So I did use actual insulation, and I just used this old like fake grass stuff, which actually is like really thick and dampens the sound really well. So that actually works really well. It's like a speaker in here from a Marshall amp. It's this Marshall amp. I have a light. There you go, Marshall Park. Surprisingly good amp. I'm not a fan of Marshall, but yeah, they actually did a bang up job with this particular amp. Works really well. I also have like this tiny little thing. Why is my camera out of focus? Don't know why I have this, but it's really cool. I actually used this thing. I used this in the first video of the Elka, to test the Elka. That was actually in the very first... That was the day that I got the Elka. I got this thing to test it. So that's how classic this is. My battery is empty. No. I also have a bass guitar, of course, here. Nobody cares about that though. I have a guitar here. Care about it either. Comanche from Turkey. Actually from Turkey. So it was there. Violin bow for weird shit. Flute. Irish flute, which is pretty cool. Don't know how to play these two. No, I actually don't know how to play any of this. This is just a corner of I don't know how to do this. That's this corner. But hey, they're cool instruments that I really need to learn to play. Anyways, that was kind of like a studio tour. I don't know why I made this video, but here you go, a studio. Yay. This is gonna go. This is gotta go. This was for the Antonelli, but this, I just want this gone now. This is probably gonna go, because I don't really use it anymore. And if I want effects, I can just do that in this box. So yeah, this, I'm gonna tidy this up. And yeah, I'm gonna record some cool shit with that one, that one, that one. Yeah, sure, that one too, and that one too. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little bit impromptu and hyperactive. But the ending. Bye.